Well, it must be a Thursday.
You know what that means.
Oh, God. It's the greatest night in the history of our sport. It means that we've endured another 2-hour session last night of AEW Dynamite. Some say it's the best wrestling program on television. And then when they have their daily dose of meds, they feel a little ambivalent about it. I would say that it's probably the worst 2 hours of wrestling I've seen since last week. I didn't think they could top last week's show for being horrendous, but they did. But we're here to bring it all to you. My name's Johnny Bottles. My Dynamite rating prediction is 590,000. I'll be in bold. I'll say it's under 600,000. To my left is Dr. Don Wayne, the neckbeard psychologist. You know him, you love him from the Twitterverse. Some call it X. Some call it Twix.
You seem to be in a very zen moment here. You seem very calm. I think I'm about to spark your ass.
I'm very frustrated, Don, because I can't find these damn ratings from last.
They're not coming out. They're not coming out.
Why wouldn't they be coming out?
I don't know what's going on with Nielsen. They're slow right now. NXT crushed it. They did 680. I don't know much, but I would almost wager my entire salary this week that AEW's not touching 680. I'd be willing to bet that. I think they're going to come in around 630. There was literally nothing on Wednesday night to watch. I mean, nothing. We are getting ready to go into peak football bowl season. So if you're not a fan of that team, you're not going to watch. The playoffs don't start for another week. So this is when you sort of get it in. Raw had a different issue. Raw this week had a pretty good show. They did 1.39 million, but they dealt with the Cowboys game playing the Cincinnati Bengals. It's the Cowboys. It's America's team. Love them or hate them. They have a huge fan base. They did 18.6 million. Is that high, Bottles? Let me tell you how high it is. It's the highest number they've had on Monday night in like 20 plus years. It was incredible how many people watched that game. Last week, it was 14 million. This week, it was 18.5. So yes, a lot of people that watch wrestling also went and watched that. So I had a couple of interludes today with people that were clowning WWE for not pulling 1.5s, calling CM Punk a non-draw. CM Punk did over. I'm telling you, dude, they are so delusional right now with what's going on. CM Punk, we looked at the quarter hours, did over 2 million for his segment last week. The New Day did 1.8. The show averaged 1.7. And one of the idiots on Twitter, or X as you could say, said the ratings on WWE have dropped for the past 3 years in running. So I went and pulled them up. They have literally been around 1.5 million now for 4 years running. That's what they've been.
Yes.
That's what they've been doing.
These are the same people. These are the same people that don't see anything wrong in a drop of AEW Dynamite from 1 million all the way down to, what was it, 501,000 1 week when they were up against NXT?
Yeah, something like that.
Head to head?
Horrible.
And then last week, what was it, 536?
Was it that low or was it 575? I can't remember. I'm not going back in time. It was well below 600.
Well below 600. You're talking crashing right there. Just a free fall of the Nielsen ratings for Dynamite. And they're bitching about Raw?
Yeah.
And
going
Smackdown?
Off.
Come
bitching
on.
about they were complaining about a pre-recorded CM Punk segment and how he's not a draw because they didn't hit 1.5 million. Get back to me after Saturday night's main event because I think we're going to see something. By the way, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. This is your first time. Give us a shout out. I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. We've got a lot to cover. We got a lot to pack into this show. Ray Phoenix has just tweeted again. Watch out, Twitterverse. He's angry.
He's tweeting really again?
He really didn't.
I know he deleted his sketchy tweets about casting aspersions on AEW, the way they do business. That's all deleted. I guess a lawyer finally came out and said,
yeah,
Señor, es muy malo.
No goodo. Delito.
No goodo.
I don't speak
Delito.
Spanish. I don't
yes,
speak
Matt
Spanish.
Hardy. Matt Hardy called him up and said, El Delito. El Delito. El Delito.
So here's the thing with Ray Phoenix. I just want to cover this real quick. It's now been officially confirmed. They extended him for like a year.
Yeah, almost
a year.
Maybe a little bit over a year, yeah. A few weeks over a year. It's horrible. But then again, Vince did it. That's business.
It is business. I mean, but again, a year seems kind of excessive. And the way that they used to do WWE contracts is they would just roll you over if you didn't tell them that you wanted out. It was that rollover clause they put in everything, which they can no longer do because it's illegal as shit and it should have never been allowed to begin with. But the wrestling business is a dirty ass business, as we all know.
It goes back to the carnival days.
Yes, it does. It truly does.
Which was just run by grifters that would move from town to town, no fixed address.
And so he came out and said, he's not happy. And then there was another tweet that came out that talked about how unhappy he was and why. And he came out and commented on that and said, this is the closest thing to the truth that I've read. That got a lot of play by a lot of people on X. People went crazy over that. And then the neckbeards came unglued. And this is the part that always cracks me up. Every time it's an AEW guy that gets extended without his consent or doesn't want to be there anymore, the AEW fan base turns on him or her immediately. When it's the other way around and the WWE wants to let him go, oh, Vince McMahon, he's not even there anymore, but still, it's WWE. They're the big, bad company. Folks, I don't give a shit who you pull for. It's just business. I think it's crappy. I don't think it's a good way to do business personally, but it's their prerogative. It's their right. If they've got you for a contract and you've got to stay, you've got to stay. But there's no reason to hate the wrestler because they want to go somewhere else. I'm not mad at Ping Pong because he left WWE and went over to AEW so he can have these half-ass matches with the
Chinese guy.
No, Ping Pong Ricochet.
I know who you're talking about.
He had a match last night with Big Fat and Tatted. I didn't give a shit. He go have that match. Big
and
Fat
he beat him.
That's what I'm calling him.
And he beat him.
Anyway, I just
promo of the year, by the way. Promo of the year for Ricochet last year. We'll get into that.
You thought
promo of the year.
You thought it was bad, huh?
But come on, man.
I didn't think it was that terrible. I really didn't. I didn't think it was great, but I didn't think it was that terrible. We also have something big coming up this weekend, Bottles. Huge coming up this weekend, as a matter of fact.
Yes, Saturday night's main event on the Cock and on NBC. Simulcast. If you don't have regular cable and you're streaming Peacock, you can watch it there.
There's going to be some legends coming on the show. Jesse Ventura, as we know, is going to be there. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I don't know what capacity he's going to be in.
He's going to be an announcer, Don. They said he's going to be calling it, which should be very, very interesting. This could be just a S show.
Dude, it could go right
magnitude.
Brother, it could go right off the rails 3 seconds into his commentary. I hate this goddamn company. They still owe me money. Cut his mic. Cut his mic.
I thought Carmella Hayes was married to Corey. That's Carmella, Jesse.
When I'm down by the Baja. I know what those drones are. You know that? Where's Vinny? I want to talk to Vinny.
If they don't have a backstage segment of Karrion Kross doing his Jesse the Body imitation.
Oh, God, yes.
To Jesse the Body, then they don't have a hair on their butt. They got to do it. They got to do it.
And if you haven't seen Karrion Kross imitate Vince or Jesse the Body, do yourself a favor and go watch it. It's absolutely hilarious. Some of the stuff he does is out of control. My favorite one is when they're in the gym and he's talking to the guy. Don't tell me you don't have one more set in you. I know you've got it. It's just hilarious. I can't do it nearly as well. I thought it was great. By the way, again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. But Saturday night's main event's returning. And a lot of people have said, well, it doesn't have the same flavor because back in the 80s, you just didn't get to see the Hogans all the time or all these other guys. You see Cody Rhodes every now and then have a match, but you don't see him defend the title nearly as much as people seem to think you do. It's just that it's a live show now, so you see them live, so it feels different. You saw Hogan cut promos all the time back in the 80s. You saw it all the time. You just never saw him defend the title or rarely saw him wrestling. So I'm looking forward to that. Jimmy Hart's going to be there. These are all that have been confirmed so far. $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Coco Beware, and Tito Santana. Thoughts?
I'd like to see Wendy Richter come back so you can get a good look at her and frighten the kids and any small dogs you have in the room. The great Wendy Richter. If you've seen her, you know what I'm talking about. I'd like to see some other legends come back, but I don't know why they got to blow them all in one night. Why do it all in one night? Taper it off. Have like 2 or 3. And then the next time they have it, which is going to be the middle of January.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just bring some out again. You know what I was surprised about? I was surprised. We talked about this on the phone a couple days ago. I was surprised in the fact that it's going to be on at 8 p.m. and not the old time slot of 11:30 p.m. It used to be 11:30 p.m. to 1.
Well, there's nothing on Saturday night. So you slap wrestling down, you have yourself a cocktail, you kick back with your shoes up, you get a bowl of popcorn, which, by the way, I'm going to try the popcorn trick this weekend. I don't know if you've seen this or not. They say if you freeze popcorn right after you pop it for an hour, it tastes better than when it's hot. So I'm going to try that trick this weekend. I'm going to pop it, put it in a Ziploc bag, and freeze it. I'm going to let you know what it tastes like, if it's better or worse. I'm going to be interested to see how this works.
Okay. Time out here. Do you eat it cold or do you let it go back up to room temperature?
No, you eat it cold. They say it tastes so much better. I've never heard this before in my life.
Interesting.
Well, like they said in the old books, now you know. There's also going to be some matches on this that are going to be televised that I'm looking forward to. Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn.
Yes.
Drew wins, I think. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
They're going to crown a new Women's United States champion. It's either going to be Bayley, Chelsea, Michigan man, I don't know, or Tiffany Stratton.
Mia,
Okay.
Michin.
Yeah, Michigan man.
Why? It just makes me wonder, why is Tiffany Stratton in this tournament when
she's got the briefcase?
She's got the briefcase. She just go cash in on the winner after the winner's had a hard match. Just jump in the ring and cash in.
Now, hold with me here. What if that's the plan in the end after all? What if that's the plan? They said there's going to be a surprise coming up. They said there's going to be some shocking title changes from what I've been reading. Expect the unexpected. Show. Yes.
A big title is going to change hands on this show. That's what they say. I wouldn't be surprised. I talked about this. I wouldn't be surprised if Cody Rhodes drops that belt.
I will be shocked if that happens. I think Chelsea Green wins the U.S. title, and I do think Tiffany cashes in on her. I think Tiffany loses tomorrow night on Smackdown, then she cashes in when this thing is over with, and blah, 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 blah. Brother Fluff Salisbury's back in here. How you doing, brother? Bottles, all the old guys who remembered Saturday night's main event will be in bed long before 11:30. That's why that shit's on at 8. He's got a point.
He's got a hell of a point.
He's got a point.
Plus the fact, Fluff, that I would say the NBC Saturday night lineup, which is notoriously the worst day for cable television, broadcast TV in general. The worst night is Saturday nights because everybody goes out. Everybody in the demo would probably go out or be out till like 10 o'clock at night if you're 49, 50, whatever. So I'm curious to see what those ratings are going to be. I hope it's a success. And they have maybe a regular, like every 2 weeks, a Saturday night's main event, or they broadcast that week's Smackdown again from USA over to NBC. It'd be something to see how they're going to experiment with that.
I don't know about you, but when I was going out, I was pre-gaming until 10 o'clock. Then I went out.
Yes.
That's how I rolled. So putting it on 8 o'clock is sort of a double hook. Like, even if you're going to go out later, it's going to get the young crowd. So what were you going to say? I'm sorry. What if what, sir?
I was going to say, what if Nia Jax, what if Stratton doesn't cash in Saturday? What if Nia Jax gets involved in a match where she gets really, really banged up? Tiffany Stratton cashes in on Nia Jax. Look. And then Charlotte Flair comes back, which they claim she's going to come back for Saturday night.
I was going to cover that, but the rumor is she's coming back on Saturday at Saturday night's main event. My whole thing is, why ruin that for this? You've already got a card lined up that's going to blow. It's going to be a good card. You don't need the extra pop with her coming back. I've seen a couple of people say it might be Becky Lynch. They're saving Becky Lynch. I think we both agree for the debut on Netflix. That's going to be her big debut, her coming home. Brother Fluff, thank you again, man, for the super chat. We appreciate you as always. We're glad you could tune in tonight. We appreciate everybody. If you've never been here before, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. We're really trying to push subscriptions again. We really appreciate everybody for being here. But I don't think you need to have Charlotte come back.
Well, the reason why I mentioned that is because she's going to be a SmackDown talent because her husband is on SmackDown. Andrade's her husband. So they try to keep couples together. Now, Stratton is probably going to move to Raw because she was talking to Adam Pearce in the background of one of these shows.
I saw that. Yeah, recently, on Raw this week.
Yes, just like Dominic was talking to Nick Aldis
Yes.
in the background while they were doing somebody else is cutting a promo. What if they went ahead and did that and have just think of this, what's a better match, Don? Nia Jax versus Charlotte Flair or Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte takes the belt from Tiffany?
We both know Nia is at the end here. Like that's there. You have strapped this saddle on this horse as far as it's going to go. This heifer ain't going no further. Somebody get the title off of her. She's already deleted her Twitter account. She cannot make it in this business as a champion. She's good in spots. She's not a good professional wrestler. It's very obvious. She's not good on the mic. She's not believable as champion. It's time to move on from this. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about them because the faster they could get that damn belt off of her, the happier I'm going to be as a wrestling fan. That's just me.
Right. She's better as an attraction, like Andre. Bring her out like once a month.
Come watch the big Hefe get on this chick and beat her up in 5 minutes. By the way, you should take a piss now. That's what she's good for, in my opinion. I'm sorry. And I don't mean to sound mean, but I've given her every chance I could possibly give her. I can't do this no more. I just can't. I just can't.
You're a hateful man.
No, I'm not. I'm just being honest. The world heavyweight champion, Gunther versus Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. Gunther, I feel like, retains this here. You can't take it off of him because he's sort of doing a mid-babyface turn here. I don't know what's going on. We're going to talk about that a little bit. The women's match, Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. This is where I think you might see something happen. I feel like maybe Rhea gets her revenge and Io Sky wins a title, setting up the Saturday night's main event return rematch. That's sort of where I see that going. That
sounds pretty spot on right there. I like that.
And then Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. We completely differ on this. It's okay. You can be wrong and I'll be right again.
Just throwing it out there. That's what I would do. He can win the belt back next month. He can win the belt back the first Netflix show if it comes down to it.
I also want to talk about this real quick. Yesterday afternoon, Logan Paul said he's retired from professional wrestling. So I want to wish him and that storyline the best of luck. I'll see you at the Rumble. Good luck with the new baby. I just wanted to cover that real quick. I also wanted to cover, before we get into this, the Smackdown segment that everybody's talking about that you and I have discussed, where everybody said, why the hell would you take the title off LA Knight? This doesn't make any sense. And we saw exactly why, because this is what we've been screaming for the past several months. He's been stuck in mid-card hell. You have got enough guys in the bloodline to spread that around and start sprinkling that bloodline dust on a couple of other guys. LA Knight finally got the sprinkling of dust that he needed, and everything about it was great. He got the shit kicked out of him. They jumped him, get him away from Nakamura, let him go somewhere else and defend against other mid-carders that don't mean shit. Make LA Knight relevant again in this storyline. I liked where that went. What about you?
I agree 100%. We even talked about that. That's how the bloodline should be. Come in and wreck shit. And then after that, just sort things out. LA Knight's better if he's chasing somebody for a title or for a grudge than he is being the guy and having people chase after him. Because you don't have a lot of strong heels outside the bloodline on SmackDown. I really don't think you do.
Gunther, if he would stay heel, is a real strong heel. He's amazing.
Very strong heel, but he's a Raw talent.
Liv Morgan is a very strong heel. Dominic Mysterio is a strong heel. The New Day suddenly have got nuclear heat. This is the best version of New Day I've ever seen in my life, and we're going to talk about it in a minute. We're going to talk about all that. Chat, by the way, please, if you see the ratings from last night, let us know. We already covered NXT with 680,000. They blew it out of the water. They did great. That's why I sort of think the AEW show is going to be well. There's also going to be some well, that's enough about SmackDown. I don't want to be all over the place here, but NXT is going to have some talent coming up, models. And I'm not going to give away the shows, but there is going to be some of their main roster talent coming up, we believe, in the next couple of weeks of the new year.
Yes.
We're going to see some changes finally taking place.
Yes. What's your theory? Who's coming up?
I'm not going to give it away.
I think that Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson.
Give it away now.
I think they're coming up to SmackDown. That's what I think. I think that
Trick Williams.
I think that Trick Williams will be coming up onto SmackDown. You need a strong babyface because Netflix wants Cody Rhodes. They want Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Cody Rhodes, all the bloodline, both versions, of course. And who's the other one that they want? CM Punk. So you know what? If Cody Rhodes goes to the Netflix Raw in January, he will need that SmackDown Championship belt.
No, because it's not the SmackDown belt. It's just the WWE Universal Championship. They stopped branding them. Don't forget. Don't forget they stopped branding it.
Whatever you want to call it. They will not have both titles
on one show.
On one show. So either Gunther is going to go to SmackDown, which I firmly believe, or Cody's going to lose that belt to Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens will be the champ on SmackDown. Just my theory.
Are you ready to talk about Raw now?
Go right ahead.
We're not going to talk about it in depth. It was a few days ago. I just want to hit on some of the highlights, some of the things I liked. The super chat is open. If you got something to say, something caught your eye, don't want a buck. See what we got. I really appreciate you guys and gals for watching. Please like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Raw rolls on with Gunther and the Judgment Day starting off. There were 6,300 tickets distributed in a building that holds 15,000. I don't know why they chose to run it here. I guess they just felt like it was a good building. I don't know. Gunther is clearly a tweener right now. Did you notice this when he came out? He was wearing blue jeans. Even my wife said, why is Gunther wearing blue jeans? You never see Gunther in blue jeans.
It was sort of to the T. Yep.
It was a visual representation to me of reaching out to the common man, baby. I'm one of you. I'm a foreigner trying to make it in this world. I'm trying to earn every dollar I get. Reach through the screen right now, baby. Put your hand in mine. That's how it felt to me. He was trying to be the common man.
I would gladly pay $20 to hear him say that on Raw.
Oh my God.
Word for word, just like that. Put your hands on the screen. I mean, just the common man. Baby.
Oh, my God. And have you noticed, because they go back to the Judgment Day, that little knife is getting dug into Dom every week now by Finn Balor. Did you catch what he said? You fought someone undeserving, was what he said to Gunther. It's little shots like this that if you're watching wrestling long enough, even if you haven't, you should be able to catch on to that. There's something going on in the inner workings of the Judgment Day where I feel like Dom's about to become a humongous face. And I don't know if it's good. Can you imagine if Dom versus Finn Balor is going to be the main of, or one of the matches at WrestleMania for control of the Judgment Day?
That would be amazing if they did. Well, not for control of the Judgment Day, of course, but that would be amazing if they did do that. And Dominic is the uber face. Well, what happens to Liv?
Right.
What happens to Liv?
She's been banging Finn Balor this whole time behind his back, and he didn't even know it. Just add it to the fire. She's a dirty strumpet, a dirty loose whore.
Well, you know what I heard in real life?
Oh, God, please don't.
Gonzo?
Here we go.
You know who's having coitus with Gonzo?
I do not want to know. I do not want to know. God, please say it's the bobblehead.
He likes to chew apples. He likes to eat apples.
Oh, I could believe that. Yes, I could believe that.
Yes, Carlito, rumor has it, is dating Raquel Rodriguez, former girlfriend of Braun Strowman, who's out with a torn groin, by the way.
Priest comes out at the end of this thing. We have a big chaotic fight. They get a Jesse Ventura reminder. We get a heavyweight match. It's now a triple threat, and you can listen to Finn Balor. He's
fired up.
I don't know, man. He is. Karrion Kross and the Final Testament comes out. There's no Paul Ellering, I noticed, and I was like, is he gone? Which it comes out, he's not gone. He comes out at the end of the match. He's while the Wyatt Six lose. The Wyatt Six finally eat an L. Like, that sort of sums that up, does it not?
Yes. Have you heard the rumor about who their next opponents will be when this feud is done?
Wyatt Six or the
Wyatt Six.
I have not. Judgment Day?
Judgment Day.
Okay. I can buy into that.
The Judgment Day. Yes.
I can buy into that. Then we get the CM Punk pre-taped interview. He doesn't want to talk about the favor. This is clearly taped from a week ago. He's confused on why Seth hates him. He met Seth at 16 years old. He asked to be trained for free. He said, the best is back and it's time for Seth to return to the bench. What a line. I'm sorry.
Great line.
When you put CM Punk on a microphone, take notes, kids, because he's going to show you how to cut it, how to make it matter, and how to make everybody in the room believe this shit's personal with him. Because in all honesty, the best promos you see in wrestling, there's a little truth in every little promo.
Yes.
There really is.
got to ask you this question. Who's
Sure.
the heel here? Who's the heel?
Oh,
Who's in the wrong?
Seth Rollins is going full heel. It's coming. You can see the Seth Rollins heel coming. It's got to be him.
You don't know that.
I don't, but it feels like it. Look, we thought that the Judgment Day was going to turn on each other. Turns out they're both assholes, and we're all better off for it. So I hope we get a major swerve like that. Unlike on the other show. We get a John Cena hype is in the building. John Cena's coming back. This is going to be big. Like him or hate him, it's a farewell love fest. He's probably going to get the biggest pop everywhere because it's the last time you're going to see him as a full-time performer. So this is going to be a big damn deal next year, Bottles. It's going to be huge.
He'll be 47 next year?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
In his last go-round, 47. Younger than Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. Mm-hmm. So. And he's still jacked, he can still do it.
They show that the Liv versus Io is Saturday. Dakota Kai tonight. Pure Fusion Collective come down. Liv wins. Dakota gets jumped. Damage Control come out. And then Liv comes back in and beats the shit out of Io. I think I covered that pretty well. Mm-hmm. The Drew McIntyre segment, which, by the way, the greatest menace to X is Drew McIntyre. Did you see the tweet he put out today of Sami Zayn delivered Uber Eats? With a little stupid hat and a bucket of fries in his hands.
Then someone did you see the one that someone did of Finn and JD?
No, I didn't.
With wear McDonald's uniforms. He quote tweeted it. McIntyre did.
Oh, you got to love it, man. You got to love it. And this is the best part about this Drew segment is he called out the entire bloodline and said your tail's between your legs and you went back to Roman. Look, Drew McIntyre is starting to become the face to me because everything he's saying is true. Right? He's got a legit bitch with every one of these guys. CM Punk is back. I hate that guy. Seth, I hate you. Why the hell did you ask him to come help you, Sammy? He's got bitches galore. I love it. And I don't mean women. I mean legit beefs. I love this segment. Drew McIntyre, to me, has reinvented himself. Is he going to be our wrestler of the year? Johnny Bottles and I talked about that today. We are going to have the first ever SCO awards ceremony. Well, I wouldn't call it a ceremony, but award announcement. To what we felt like was the best angle, the best match, the worst shit show, the most improved wrestler, and the worst wrestler. It's going to be a whole lot of things that we're going to go through. I can't wait to do that show. Just want to put a reminder out there for that. Anyway, back to this, the New Day recap. And when you watch this recap in real time, dude, that's still tough to watch. Big E with the facial expressions to where he's got the boo-boo face and the why are you
Give
doing
that man
this?
an Emmy. Give that man an Emmy.
Seriously.
Have you heard who's nominated for an Emmy Award?
Paul Heyman.
No. This guy's nominated for an Emmy Award in Children's Entertainment Programming.
Mick Foley.
Nope. Adam Copeland.
Oh, that's right. I did read that today, as a matter of fact. Yes.
Percy Jackson on Disney Plus. Apparently, he's so good on there. He's got a Best Supporting Actor nomination.
Good for him, man.
Yeah.
I hope he gets it. By the way, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. The super chat is open. Hit the subscribe button. We really need your support. The New Day recap, like I said, and then Cody runs into the New Day and says, "You should be ashamed of yourself," and walks off. And they look totally confused on why that is. Again, this was great. Cody Rhodes saying to him, that's the rub, right? Now you're in the big time. You're rubbing elbows with the champion. I felt like that sort of elevated them in the actual audience's eyes. Like, was this as good as I thought it was? It was better than I thought it was. Rabid Wolverines, LC Killer 17 wants to know your thought. WWE is not going to be on Netflix. It doesn't bother me. You can have a quality program, blur the lines every now and then, drop a damn or, what the hell or whatever. They have done it so far without needing to do that, right? They haven't needed to do that. You can have a good quality wrestling program by not doing that. That's just my opinion.
You're liable to hear the S word.
Maybe once in a while.
On there. Right.
But again, it's a lot of people that grew up watching the Attitude Era as their first ever era thinks that's what it should have been like the whole time.
Sure. I think you'll see more blood.
You'll see more blood. I agree with that. I think you'll see
more violence. More violence. You'll see all that.
Also, the part that gets me is that some of the most insane angles I've ever seen were the ones where it wasn't much, but it was just enough to piss you off. Like when, case in point, He bled like a stuck pig, don't get me wrong, but when Marty Jannetty went through a glass window, nobody cussed. He just got the shit kicked out of him. It was like, what? Why did that happen? That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. I don't think that it's going to hurt it too much. I hope we get at least a little bit of PG-13 every now and then when it really, really matters. But it doesn't have to be that way all the way. Thank you again very much, Rabid Wolverine, for the $2 super chat. Obviously, what do you think, Wolverine? Are you upset that it is? Put that in the chat. I'll throw it up there. Seth Rollins, apparently, he killed the Cookie Monster with this. Did you see his sleeves? He came out there in Cookie Monster sleeves. He must have slaughtered him behind the sound stage before this thing came on. And he came out there with these things on. Did you see that shit?
Yes, I did.
Why does he dress like a goof every time?
Rollins?
Yeah.
Attention. He was just coming out in black all the time. He was just coming out in black all the time. As, Seth Rollins, wrestler of the year in his mind, greatest wrestler alive. And he got boring. He got stale. So I think the guy made the right move in going into that. At least he's not I'm an architect. What did he say? What was that spiel he used to do? I'm an innovator.
I'm a creator. I'm a masturbator.
Ooh.
By the way, Mike Digital, I've always got to throw him up here. Remember when Censor X over Beefcake when Ron Bass cut him up with Spur? Yes, I do. I do remember that.
I remember when classy Freddie Blassie used to wrestle for the WWF, and they would put the big X over the screen while he would bite some guy's face.
By the way, again, I want to thank Mike Digital. He did some good artwork for us here this week, the past week, with Bottles being good old JR, and I was Jerry the King Lawler on commentary. That shit was amazing, Mike. I want to give you credit for that, man. That was hilarious.
Yes.
It legit popped me. Anyway, Seth Rollins goes on, says CM Punk is a fraud. You get CM Punk chance. He says Punk left 11 years ago. He called, he texted, and he got straight ghosted the whole time. And the next 10 years, CM Punk has torn down WWE. Remember what I just said? There's a little bit of truth in every sort of a heel's turn. A little bit of truth in that. He says Sami Zayn, here comes Sami Zayn down in a Yeet shirt. So they're pushing this big time. Sami apologizes but says Seth was talking like Drew. I thought that was pretty good. Sami asked him if they're good. They say yes. Seth challenges Drew to Saturday Night Live, Saturday Night's main event, and then he gets attacked by Drew. So there you go. Here you go.
I'd like to see them on Saturday Night Live. That'd be great.
Rabbit says, I am not upset about it, but in social media, a lot of people are upset about it. And I said to myself, why are these people mad about it? Because they want to see tits and ass. They're kids. They don't know what good wrestling is. They want to see boobies because this is the closest thing they're going to get to their life. They got stinky fingers from sticking up their own buttholes, if you ask me. It's not just the Mountain Dew and Cheeto stains. By the way, I don't want to talk about the ping pong video I heard about. That was news to me this week. Have you heard about this?
What?
I know you and I will talk about this off air. I'm not covering this on air, but I'm going to tell you what was out there.
Is it a video of him doing something or just standing there saying something?
Oh, no, dude. He's doing something. This thing got leaked. I will talk about it off air. I couldn't believe this shit was real. I thought somebody was ribbing me. This was real.
Is there someone else in the video with him?
We're moving on. We're moving on.
Just give me a teaser. Was there someone else in the video with him?
We're not. Now you sound like him in the video. Drew Day comes out to no music and huge boos. And they're getting booed out of the building every time they try to talk. This was gold. It was amazing. I can't believe this happened. New Day is over. They're more over now than they've ever been in their career. And all it took was them acting like complete assholes to get there. Congratulations, New Day. You have officially got me hooked. I can't wait to see where you go next.
Exactly. I hated the New Day for months, for a year, because it was so boring. It was so boring. Pigeon chest and woods
bootios and pancakes and bullshit.
And Big E is not coming back. Big E
No, he's not.
The vertebrae, the cervical vertebrae that connects to your skull, the same thing that Tyson Kidd disconnected from his skull. Right. Hence the fact that he can no longer wrestle now. Big E cracked his in half. And it's not calcifying properly. They were going to let it heal on its own, no surgery. It's not calcified properly. And I mean, you guys got to be worried about getting into a car accident where there's whiplash involved.
Everybody's asked me to talk about this. I can't talk about it because we might get flagged for it. That's how insane this is. I'll tell you, Bottles, and then you can decide if you want to tell the story when this is over with, but we'll come back to that later. Closing this out, Rhea versus Gonzo. And I got to ask you, because I swear it felt like Gonzo sandbagged Rhea Ripley on that chair moment. Did it feel that way to you?
No, I think that Gonzo didn't expect it to happen so fast. And because she usually works a plotting match against whatever small opponent she's up against.
But then she's in a
right, but she's in a match right now where she doesn't have to do that. She doesn't have to hop up for people. Rhea Ripley can manhandle her and throw her all around the ring. I think that she didn't hop up high enough to land on that chair, and she hit it, the edge of it, rolled off. That's all. She's probably a little nervous being put in that position, and she just got back from being out on medical leave. So
okay,
well, that skin condition she had.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought she sandbagged. They were having a pretty good match until then, I thought, but that one segment ruined the whole damn thing because Rhea obviously fell down in frustration. You could see she was pissed that all just went to shit. This thing ended. Liv comes down, then Io Sky comes down. Blah blah blah. And it was Rhea Ripley's first match of the year on Raw. So there you go. First singles match on Raw. So there you go. That's that.
Probably her third match on Raw this year.
She hasn't wrestled. It was singles.
No, I'm just, of course, she was in tag matches too on Raw.
Right.
I'm just saying this is probably her third match in total.
It hasn't been many.
Hasn't been many at all.
We're going to get to the part of the show that I really don't want to talk about. Bottles, AEW time. It's time to talk about this shit fest. I was hoping it would get better. I was wrong. Somewhere in my brain, I said, winter is coming. It's got to get better. I was wrong. I can't stand anything Moxley does. I can't stand anything Cassidy does. The way this opened just took me completely out of it already out the gate. I couldn't care less. By the way, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. We're going to get into some serious topics here. There were 4,020 tickets distributed for this show.
A whole 4,020?
Allegedly. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Here's what got my attention, and you and I talked about this. 1,077 of these tickets were distributed in the past 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
The last 4 days, you're going to tell me that a quarter of your audience suddenly decided, I've got to go see this. And in no other sport, in no other event that I've ever gone to have I seen something like that happen, where a quarter of the audience suddenly says, I've got to go see this match. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm not saying Tony Khan is buying tickets and papering this bitch, but it damn sure feels like it to me. A quarter of the tickets distributed were done in the final 4 days of this event. That's like right now, Royal Rumble's got like 40,000 tickets distributed. That's essentially saying 10,000 tickets for Royal Rumble are going to get bought in the last 4 days before the event. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't to me. I'm sorry.
He bought the tickets to give away for free. To give to radio stations because he was doing a lot of press for the All In Texas and for this show. He was doing a lot of press this week. Also, he gives those tickets to radio stations, to TV stations, to pass out to people, have contests with. Be the 10th caller at 852-503-9022.
Is that still a thing? Because I don't listen to terrestrial radio at all anymore. I haven't listened
still a thing.
to local radio in forever.
That's still a thing.
I didn't even know it's still on. I didn't know there were different FM channels you can dial now. I did that on my truck the other day. I was like, what the hell is FM2?
Oh, yeah. Different bands.
I didn't know.
They even have an HD FM.
Yes. It's like, Jesus.
Yes, HD radio is a thing.
Okay. This match was presented. By the way, the Texas All In, All Out, whatever the shit it is. Did you see that miserable looking bunch of people that were there?
They had almost 50 people there, Don. The crowd went mild. It was fantastic.
I have got no idea what they're doing with this. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't get it.
Bobby Lashley had an incredulous look on his face. Just couldn't believe it. Swerve came out. You hurt people. I kill people. Swerve said.
What the hell was that?
That's the talent writing their own stuff. That's what that is.
Do you know
That's
how
what it
many
is.
times I've heard from other people that have worked in this business, in the wrestling business, you never tell the opponent you're going to kill them, because if you don't, everybody looks at you like you're weaker than. You say you're going to hurt them, I'm going to maim them, I'm going to maul them. You never say I'm going to kill you. That's the you don't go there moment. It was so dumb. Why the shit
Horrible.
would you do that?
It's just garbage, dude. It's just garbage. They had 50 people there. They flew in AJ the Boom, the Big Boom, whatever the hell his name is.
Yes.
And the Boom Meister, or
Costco
whatever
guy.
that kid. Yeah, the Costco guy and his son were there. They didn't have the Rizzler there, but I guess the Rizzler actually had to go to school that day. But they had what's the kid's name? What's
I don't
the kid's,
care.
The son's got a nickname too. Who cares?
I don't care.
AJ and his son were there, and they were pumping up how he's going to be there. The cast is coming off his foot in like a couple of weeks. He'll be ready to go. I guess he's going to be at World's End. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on with this company. Tony was there. It looked like he was on cloud nine. Who else was there? I'm trying to think.
I don't care. I am not.
I don't care.
that whole thing.
That's how much I cared about it. I can't remember who was there. All
I
I
didn't
saw
even know it was
I
a
saw the
thing.
crowd shot. They wouldn't put the crowd shot on YouTube. I saw pictures of it.
No shit.
Somebody filmed it and put it on Twitter. There was like 50 people there wearing coats. I don't know. He wants to be the WWE so bad. Remember when they had those the big PLE, SummerSlam, WrestleMania they had on Friday on Peacock before the weekend? They would have that big hour-long promo, like
Yes.
a press conference, and they draw like 10,000 people.
That was a
8,000
big
people.
one. Yes, at Boston, that one show you're talking about, that was a huge one. Because
Huge.
that was the rise of That was the rise of Stone Cold.
And who?
They were Stone Cold. Is that the one you're talking about, where they were in Boston and Shawn Michaels?
No,
'Cause
I'm
that was
talking
the
about
big
just
one.
recently. I'm talking about recently.
Okay.
They put them on Peacock.
Sorry.
They put them on Peacock. And I'm talking about the one where The Rock was there and Roman. They had the
Okay,
Samoan family trade
yeah.
and all that.
That was the Las Vegas show.
They filled an entire arena full of people just to see a free show. And he can't draw 50 people to watch this product or people talk about the product. It just gives you a clue as to how tone deaf he is, to how bad things are. He's literally the little dog in the meme that you see on Twitter where he's sitting at a table drinking a cup of coffee and the whole house is on fire. He says, "This is fine."
Yes, that's it. And
It's
I'm glad you brought
great.
this up, because it explains this entire first match we're about to cover. The Cracker Clan comes out, and did you notice that as soon as Moxley comes out, he acted like he was putting out a cigarette with his boot? Did you notice this? Did you catch this at all?
No, I didn't see that part.
He put his toe down and stomped it out like he was putting out a damn cigarette. I don't know what the hell this was supposed to be. It didn't make any sense. And all I wrote is, why is he always such a goof in everything that he does? Everything he does is a goof moment. I don't understand this guy, man.
He wants to be Stone Cold Steve Austin so bad.
He does.
He
He does.
It's killing him inside. He's dying inside.
And I got to ask you something. Why is he wearing 1970s OD green army pants to the ring? Why did he say this is a good look for me? It wasn't a good look in 1973. It's damn sure not a good look today. No one liked that look in the army. That's why we got new fatigues shortly after that. This looked, his entire outfit looked completely absurd, like a backyard brawl fest in somebody's barn. This looked he's a professional wrestler dressed like this. Say what you want about Pac, but at least he looks the part in his gear. This guy's dressed like your local merchant marine down the street that's recruiting for his local shooting range.
When he was in the ring, it was just slow and plodding, like he had 25-pound weights tied to his ankles. He with this gimmick he's getting no traction whatsoever. He was on Collision Saturday night, and I heard they booed him out of the building. They were chanting bullshit when he tried to cut a promo, when he does that thing where he's pacing around in a circle real fast.
Oh, we're going to talk about that one too.
Oh my
that
God.
comes later.
I'm glad they put him on there now. Early, so they just get him out of the way. They probably draw straws in the back, or they have like a hat where they take turns.
No.
Who wants to be in the good rating spot this week? It's my turn. It's my turn, boss. That's
Well,
probably
this
what he
is it.
said.
I mean, it ain't gonna be any higher than it is when this thing starts. So Jay White and Orange Cassidy come out. Orange Cassidy is an all black again, so we know he's super serial this time. I don't even want to get into
Yes.
that bullshit about his clothing. And why is it that every Moxley match, every God blessed one of them, every one of his matches has got to immediately deteriorate into an outside the ring melee? Every damn one of them, Bottles. Every one of his matches turns into this bullshit. I will probably pass out the day that hobo-looking asshole does not go out of the ring. Can you just stay in the ring and have a quality match? Can you do that for me? Because this is what, just give me this. This is what everybody says about AEW. The quality of wrestling is so much better. They fought out of the ring for 5 minutes before these yahoos got back in, and then that dumbass referee, the one that I can't stand, Knox, whatever the hell his name is, goes, okay, ring the bell now. You can ring the bell now. They fought for 5 minutes outside of the ring before this asshole said ring the bell. Complete shit show from the word go. His boys are his friends, and they're the Young Bucks, and that's why he's got a job. Piss on this whole thing from the start.
But don't half the matches on this show weekly end in like an outside the ring brawl, people running in, and they beat down the good guys? They've got too many heels on this show. There's too many heels in this company. They need a white meat baby face who hardly ever loses to take control, to come in and fight back against these guys. But I would say that the only people that are capable of doing that right now would be people we didn't see last night. The Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, where the hell were the Hurt people? I'd love to see them. God knows. They're the only thing I want to watch this for.
Love to see this show go off the air where Moxley's beating up everybody and his crew, and then the Hurt Syndicate come out, and they run roughshod over everybody. And MVP grabs the microphone. He's standing over top of Moxley. He's holding up the briefcase that's got the belt in it. You notice he doesn't wear the belt.
Yeah, which is another thing I don't get. It makes no damn sense. This is your champion, and the briefcase now signifies your belt. Dumbest gimmick ever.
I'd like to see MVP standing over to him and saying, "This isn't your company now either," and just drop the microphone.
And walks out with the briefcase, throws the briefcase in the crowd after he takes the belt off, doesn't win it cleanly, just says, "It's mine now. If you're man enough, come get it." That's how you would do a great show. That would get my attention. But instead, I got the class clown leading this shit off.
If I saw that at the end of AEW Dynamite, if they put those guys on Collision, I would watch Collision to see what was going to take place. Because that's something you'd have to say, well, shit, I can't wait to see what happens next. But they don't do that.
You've got my interest. You've got my interest.
We'll get into that once you get to a certain point of the show, how they don't follow up on Rampage or Collision.
Oh, we're going to get there real soon.
Yes, get right ahead.
So I want to get into this. Can you hear me? I don't know if I'm breaking up or if you are. Am I breaking up or am I good?
You're good.
Okay. They start off with the Chop Fest with Mox and Jay. I don't give a shit. A tag happens early in this match. Did you notice this? Where Pac tags Moxley and the ref's not even looking at him. Did you see that shit? He just hears.
Is this a point? Is this where Pac was like saying something to Moxley? He was lingering by the corner. And Moxley's talking to him, and then Pac goes over to where the referee and Jay White were, and they're going to talk. But then he turns around, he looks over at Moxley, says something to him, and he walks back over and tags Moxley.
So no, this is where he was already kicked out of the ring by Jay White earlier. He gets up on the apron, tags him, and then gets hit again. And the ref he hears it. He's looking over at
the blind tag. Yes.
And he looks back. He goes, "Oh yeah, they tagged. He doesn't even see the shit. This is why I hate this referee. It's awful. It just
Don
shit.
Donnie could have been looking at the monitor, the big screen, and saw the whole thing happen.
Yeah, okay. This match, by the way, I noted this right away. This thing was getting no crowd reaction at all. None.
Nothing.
And as soon as I wrote this down, they showed Christian Cage and the crowd exploded. Yes. Suddenly, they had something to take interest in. So for all you diehard AEW fans that say, I watch for the great matches. No, you don't. You think you're the cool kid in the room that nobody else is watching. So you're the cool guy. No, you're not. This whole thing sucks. Christian Cage was the brightest spot of this whole damn match. And I don't want to go through all this shit. I'm going to run through this real fast. I hate everything Moxley does. I hate everything OC does. Jay White and Pac went back in the ring. they could at least hold the ring and hold a good match when they want to.
Sure. That was the best part of the whole experience for me.
Yes.
Those two guys. Yeah, it's Jay White must be just thinking, how many more days do I have on this contract?
John Moxley no-sell shit through this entire thing. I don't know what's going on. None of this is making any sense. I'm out. I said I'm out. There's a bunch of shit going on. It's happening now. They're all doing.
He's booking this. You understand that, right? He's writing this shit. So he thinks that it's just fantastic.
We have been on this match too long, so I'm going to close this up. I wanted to note one other thing. Did you notice when the ref was counting 3 during this match, he was going 1 and then coming all the way up and coming back down for 2. He was almost standing up to get the 2 count. It looked utterly ridiculous, man. It looked utterly ridiculous. This thing's going on forever. Out of nowhere, Hangman Adam Page runs in. Now we got some bullshit happening. Complete chaos. They're all fighting. Then they get jumped by the freaking Cracker Clan. The commentators are making it so much worse. This thing devolved immediately. Once it was bad enough. When Hangman came down, I said, why is this all happening? Why is this just a smorgasbord of shit that doesn't have any rhyme or reason? None of it makes any sense.
None of it does. None of it does. I don't understand it. I don't understand what his end game is. If he's the champion, he's got everything that he wanted. And he's running AEW now, supposedly. So why is he upset with Orange Cassidy? Why was he upset with Darby Allin? No one knows. We still don't know. We still don't know why this is going on. Later on in the show, he cut that ridiculous promo in the back with all his
I'm about to talk about it. I'm going to get there. Give me that.
We're going to bring it up now because it pertains to this.
Okay, go ahead.
He said that all these guys are coming out of the woodwork. I want a title shot. 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 So essentially what he did backstage, he booked a 4-way match at World's End, the last pay-per-view of the year. Him and Sling Blade. Sling Blade. That's a new name for him. Sling Blade Jay White. Sling Blade Jay White. Mm-hmm. And Orange Cassidy.
I got 2 words for you. Guns up.
And I think Darby Allin, right?
Yeah.
Darby, Cassidy, Sling Blade. No, Hangman Page.
No, Hangman.
Orange Cassidy, Sling Blade, and Moxley are going to have a match.
Yeah.
Yes, those 4 for the title. Why would he do that? Why would he do that?
I don't know.
Why would he just have him and Cassidy again?
He's running around in the back room, in between his people, screaming like a lunatic, making no sense, and screams out, "I'm a marked man!" Everything he does, I can't stand anything he does.
It's bad acting.
It's bad everything.
It's bad everything. Bad wrestling, bad acting. I don't know. Somebody said, who cut a promo on him and said that you ought to take a drink? I'll put you back in rehab or something like that. Somebody was cutting a promo.
That comes up later. Yeah, I'm going to get to that. Give me a minute.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, it was great. I don't know. Maybe he's on the juice again. Who the hell knows?
But between this segment and the match, we get an awful 90s cowboy segment for the guy known as Bandito.
Oh my God in heaven.
This is what I wrote down. For every wrestling fan that ripped the WWF in the 90s and what it was, this shit was Skinner bad. Remember Skinner Gids?
Yes.
The guy that had the dip in the mouth, that had these god-awful segments on his vignettes before he debuted? That's what this is. You are that fan right now if you're supporting this shit. It is awful. It is hokey. It is corny as shit. This is awful. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button.
Have you seen anybody on Twitter bitching about this segment? They've completely ignored it. They've completely ignored it because it's so bad. It's so bad. They completely ignored it. They're wait a minute. Bandito has a time machine where he can go back to the Old West. Is that what this is?
I have no idea what this is supposed to be.
He's wearing a cape and no shirt.
Yes, that was the other thing I wrote. Why is he wearing a cape in the West with no shirt and a mask on? What is this? What are we doing here?
Where are their guns?
God, this was
Why wouldn't
awful.
they just shoot the son of a bitch? Pull out a
This-
Colt 45 and plug him in the chest. I don't understand it.
This guy could have dropped a deuce in the middle of this segment, and it would have been more entertaining than what we
horse
actually
could have
got
dropped
in
the
the end.
deuce.
Yes, just have the horse shitting on everybody. I'd have rather watched that. This whole thing. Explain this to me, AEW Marks. Why are you excited about Bandito in this god-awful 1990 Skinner vignette?
No one's excited about Bandito except maybe Mrs. Bandito.
God bless America, this was bad.
Horrible. What are they going to have him go up against Hangman Page eventually?
He's
As
gonna
two
fight
cowboys?
He's going to fight the freaking horse. It's going to be his first opponent. The horse is going to turn heel.
He's going to hit Bandito with a horseshoe.
God, this was horrible. On to something that was actually worthwhile. Christian Cage segment. And I like
Yes.
Christian Cage. And
Yes.
he's the guy that said he's going to make Moxley go back and get a drink, by the way. He said it in this segment.
Okay. Which is perfect. Fantastic.
And this is what I notice about his segment. Christian Cage is having a hard time keeping up with why all of these people have beef. And even he stammered through this thing. Even he
Yes, he did.
struggled to get to the point because he's like, okay, he's mad at him for this and he's mad at him for this. And that guy, okay, and I'm going to be involved because I've got the brief. This whole thing, he summed it up perfectly. The best way he could is nonsensical and doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. And to make matters worse, we bring in Hook at the end of this entire fiasco just to add, here's a little bit more shit on top of your crappy ice cream. It just, everything about this show in the first 45 minutes was just garbage. This is
Hook.
your big winter is coming show?
Hook with no pop.
None.
0. He got as big a pop as Elektra Lopez did when she was walking down the aisle at Smackdown to participate in that three-way dance. Remember Elektra Lopez?
Yes, yes, I do.
Yes. People didn't even know who she was. And no one cheered, no one booed. It was just crickets. Crickets. That's the pop that Hook got. Nothing. Although he did put a lot of effort into it, though. I will say that. Broke the glass. But it's just terrible. It's horrible.
Well, the fake door. I don't know if you noticed that or not. The door wasn't painted. They had obviously replaced the door earlier in the day. That wasn't the real door. You could see that right away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, put some effort into it, guys. My God. It's not that hard.
It's just
And
the worst, Don.
This is when I wrote down, this is some bad booking. I literally wrote this in my notes. And then Ocean Spray came out with the bowl cut. And I said, that's the show. That's the show. Everything about this show is bad booking and bowl cuts. It's right out of the 90s. We got Skinner-esque promos and we got bowl cuts with Ocean Spray against Claudio. What are you doing, Tony Khan? Do you actually think this is a good idea, man?
He's keeping people employed, Don.
Yes, because they've got, I give a shit about this.
It's just terrible. At least this week we weren't subjected to the Goat Boy.
That's true. No
He was not
Rouge.
And
I
Big
think
Bill
he's been-
wasn't there.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. We're going to talk about that in a minute because I think he's sort of been put out the pasture. I
Not
really
Big
do.
Bill. Big Bill just got
Yeah.
married.
Well, I think he's been put out the pasture.
He got
We'll
married this past weekend, so he's on his honeymoon right now with
Okay,
Lexi
well, good for
Nair.
that guy.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah.
Why did this match start off the way it did with that stupid flipping clothesline thing where you can't tell what guy's taking it, what guy's getting hit with it? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Where they both just
yes.
run and do a flip. You can't tell who's taking that shot. It doesn't make any sense to me. Can someone explain that to me? Warrior JWR says Zorro better pack a lunch. Frank Mortos is coming.
Frank Mortos, attorney at law. That would
He's
be
coming.
that should be the vignette.
His next gimmick. His next
Frank Mortos in a suit with the head on, walk into a courtroom. Mr. Mortos, how's your client plead? And he just says the whole thing in Spanish.
El Innocento.
Yes. It's just this show.
It's just
When you think they're doing something horrible,
they can
they
top
top it. 15 minutes
It's
later, they
insane.
top it. So we got Ospreay and Claudio. Should be a good match.
No, it's not. And you know it's not going to be a good match.
Looking at it first time, seeing the participants, you're saying to yourself, this could be a good match.
I don't want to get into all of the ins and outs of this shit because it's the same thing they do every time. Uppercuts from hell. Everybody's giving European uppercuts, Australian uppercuts. We're super kicking. They're outside of the ring.
They're getting super cuts.
They are getting super cuts. Look, and you can say whatever you want. He had the bowl cut teased out. He got up one day and said, this would be a good look for me. He is really living in 1992. What is between the tracksuits and the bowl cuts? This guy just found the Real World tapes and is digging in deep.
He can't shave his head. He can't shave his head. He'll look like his buddy, Kyle Fletcher. So he can't shave his head.
Thank you, Warrior, for the $1.99 super chat. We appreciate it, brother.
He's got to grow.
This was, again, this match, they were outside for 30 seconds before the ref even decided he was going to start counting. I just don't give a shit. Then the ref says 1 after they've been outside for 30 seconds. And it's that same jackass referee that I can't stand. Every time he's in the ring, you know you're going to get a shitty match from that guy.
Rick Knox.
That guy sucks, man. Whatever his name is, yes.
Or Bryce Edwards.
Rick Cox.
Is a good friend.
Why is it
Michael Hawk?
Why is it that every time Ocean Spray goes for that flip move off the top rope and he's going to miss, he magically lands on his feet every time? Every time. Can you explain that to me? Can
you explain from the Ashes Chevalier? Thanks for the 5 spot from Canada, my brother. Do you think Low Plains Drifter's Mad Bandito stole his gimmick? I bet Low Plains Drifter's still complaining about that backstage. Anyone who'll listen. Gave it to Bandito. They gave it to Bandito, Chris. Calm down, little soldier.
Dude, that's why he was dressed differently this week. They're like, we can't have 2 guys looking like this. You got to look different. Because he did, if you notice. Oh, God, I want to thank you so much, Ashton. That was so great.
Chris Jericho, I looked at my locker. Somebody stole my hat. Well, we loaned it at the Bandito, so you're going to have to get a new hat.
Thank you for the super chat. That was great. Okay, going to get to this next part. By the way, this whole thing ends with Will Ocean Spray giving him a bullshit roll-up. After all of this, after all of it.
Yes.
After all of it, that's how it ends. Yes, Ashton, thank you again. It was great, man. I'll believe that up there in case somebody joins. That's tremendous. Just for a little while.
What do you do with Ocean Spray?
You tell him to cut your goddamn hair, number one. Go do something with that mop you've got on your head because you look like a clown.
He's been brought in to be, I guess, what, the number 1 babyface? Is he the number 1 babyface?
He is the number 1 babyface is what they're pushing for. James, my man, I hope your night's going well. I hope you're not working. I'm sure you are. Listed reviews like this make watching Dynamite tolerable. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you as always.
Absolutely.
I hope you're having a good night, James. I hope you're hanging in there, buddy. I don't know if you're working tonight or not, but if you are, let us know. We appreciate you as always, James. This thing ends. I don't give a shit. Renee Baguette is with Ping Pong, and he pulls out an MVP card. By the way, Ping Pong is who we call Ricochet because that's what it is.
Probably the last time he wore that suit, he got the card from MVP and just reached in his pocket and pulled it out. Oh, I got the card in my pocket. Here it is. Dude, that was the promo of promos right there. Promo of the year.
I didn't hate it. I know he got a lot of shit for it. I didn't hate it. I've seen him do so much worse, models. I'm not going to act like this was the worst thing he's done.
Dude, Great Muta, great wrestler, flippy, back in the day, if you will, flippy. Never opened his mouth. He never opened his mouth.
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
And then he'd spit that green shit.
He couldn't cut a promo.
I did say, but he opened his mouth and spit that green shit.
He had the great Gary Hart cutting promos for him.
Yes, he did.
The JTEX Corporation. Ricochet should get a manager and not talk. It's a bad look. That's why you should join the Hurt Syndicate. Get in there with MVP. Let him do all the talking for you. It's horrendous. Horrendous. But he's going to get mad if he sees this. He'll get mad online and say, what?
Ricochet has really gotten pissy online, man.
Thin-skinned. Well, he couldn't run his own Twitter account You have to clear it. And you want to go ahead. If you want to go ahead and tweet something in WWE,
I agree, James.
You got to clear it. You got to clear it if you're a newbie.
I agree
with the social media office, because they will go in. They got all your passwords. They'll go in and just delete it if it comes down to it.
So I don't know if you know this or not, but Happy Gilmore 2 finished production, I should say, last Friday. So we got MJF arriving on the scene today. So Happy Gilmore 2 is over. Rumor has it it's going to be a July 4th release in theaters. I don't know what to expect. The first one was great. MJF is playing the part of one of Adam Sandler's sons, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out. I've seen a couple of backstage scenes, no sound, just here's what it looked like. I saw them coming out of either a courthouse or a church in one scene.
Courthouse. He had a white Oxford shirt with no sleeves and a black tie.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. Renee Baguette is with Mark Cardona. Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona. You were close. Matt Cardona.
And all I got to say about him is that's a Reels Pros Pro. He cut a Pros Pro of a.
Yes, he did.
I mean, that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
He looked like a star, Don.
Here's why I'm here. I'm here to beat your ass. I don't like you. You don't like me. I'm here to get that belt. I loved it. I loved it.
And he looked like a star. Tan, hair's all done, nice clothes on.
Great
looked
build,
like a star, jacked.
Looks like a star. Yeah. So hats off to him.
He won't go. He won't sign a contract with them. They tried to get him, but he won't sign a contract.
No. I don't blame him.
Well, you know who his wife is, right?
Yeah.
She's in the other company, so he probably wants to go there with her.
Well, he's got to mind his P's and Q's. I'm going to get to this next match because we've both been waiting for this. Adam Cole versus Topside Tiny Tim. I've been waiting on this match all night. I couldn't wait.
Dude, I noticed that arm when he came to the ring. When Kyle O'Reilly.
Did you see the
warehouse worker Kyle O'Reilly came to the ring? I saw that arm because he was like doing that to the music.
Yeah.
And I saw him climb in the ring. I saw that right arm. He looks horrible. That arm looks bad.
Topside Tiny Tim is my new name for him.
Topside Tiny Tim. Why is he Topside Tiny Tim?
Because his arm's bad, not his leg.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ. Bless us all, everyone.
Except my arm, which is going to fall off with my diabetes.
It's sad, man.
Why is he still allowed to compete? Why? Safest company in the world, right? Safest wrestling company in the world.
Dude, nobody monitors who's hurt. You've got guys, and there's a masked individual who's stuck on the bench right now because when he got hurt, no one will call him and say, hey, go to this hospital, go to this doctor. This guy's the best. We'll pay for it, blah, blah, blah. He had no idea what to do when he got hurt.
Right.
That added on to his, we're talking about Ray Phoenix, by the way. That added on to the time where he was out because he couldn't get the surgery. He didn't know where to go to get it fixed. And it added on weeks to his injury time. I think if you got a good lawyer, he'd get out of that contract. But
here's what I want to say about this match. This had suck written all over it from the beginning. We have two emaciated, tanless, physicless dorks in the ring. And it delivered exactly what I thought it was. The crowd was silent for this whole damn thing.
Quiet.
Cole tries to get the crowd to fire up at one point, and that's the worst thing you can do in wrestling. When you are trying to get the crowd to fire up, that doesn't help. I've been to a million wrestling shows. When you go, yeah, let's go. No, stop. Do something different because I am not invested in your ass. I don't care. Homeless O'Reilly also works as a janitor at AEW. That is his part-time gig. Thank you again, Warrior. This thing sucked. It was awful. I'm not going to get into it. Adam Cole won. MJF comes down, swings, misses. Cole wins, like I said.
Gone. Swings, misses, gone. No promo, no nothing. Swing and a miss, he's out. And you never saw him again.
Which tells me he's going to be on Friday night. That's what that tells me. Because that's what they film as a Friday night show right after this one.
Think so?
So they're going to waste him on a show that's being canceled. That's what's going to happen, Bottles.
I got the graphic for the matches, Who's going to appear? He's not listed.
He will show up. I can almost guarantee it. Why the hell would he show up for one segment? Oh, we get the FTR segment. They're pitching in for Asheville. Thank you again, Warrior, for the super chat. We appreciate you, brother. FTR is just
rah rah, sis boom ba. AEW's great. Look what we're doing for the people of Asheville, North Carolina. Look what we're doing. We're sending them MJF Burberry t-shirts.
I'm not getting this.
We've got
the
bunch
new
of Britt
Jericho,
Baker shirts with a black eye. We'll send those down there to them. They need to keep warm.
The new Jericho New York Minute shit. Is this replacing the Learning Tree? Because they've gotten away from the Learning Tree altogether. Now it's Jericho and his New York Minute, which, by the way, we have a Canadian giving us a New York Minute update like he's from New York. What is happening right now?
He says he's the king of New York. Have you heard that?
I know.
He's the king of New York.
Low Plains Drifter is behind him. This whole thing went sideways weeks ago, and it's getting worse. The Canadian is the king of New York. Why is this a thing?
He writes all his own stuff, Don. Tony Khan just lets him do whatever he wants to do. He can't be on TV in a match, I guess, because he's the Ring of Honor champion. So he can't be on AEW. I don't know why, because Briscoe was on there all the time. But, hey, I'm not asking to see Chris Jericho back on AEW television. I'm not asking for that. I don't want to see that ever again. He should just be a booker or an agent backstage. He just, God in heaven.
Or a homeless bum. Oh, blame Canada. Blame Canada. I'm not going to sing that song. Tony Schiavone is backstage with Darby Allin. I want to talk about this one as well.
Oh, my
because
God.
Because the audio, once again, we've got audio issues. Darby Allin's back on his I'm going to climb Mount Everest bullshit, which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard of in my life. I don't know why anybody would want to do that to begin with. It's the dumbest goal you could actually put down in life for yourself. I want to fly to the most remote airport that getting to the airport is as dangerous as climbing the mountain. Then I want to climb this mountain in frigid temperatures and possibly die. Stupid. I don't know why that would be anybody's life goal. I want to buy a big house, have a big family. That should be a life goal. I want to retire at 50. That's a life goal. I think I'll climb Mount Everest. Stupid. I don't give a shit.
Well, what do you want him to do, Don? You want him to fly to Haiti and open up a Boy Scout troop? Is that what you want him to do?
It would be a more rewarding thing, to be quite honest. Again, I'm not going to get into this, but this is the part that cracked me up. Is Darby Allin went, and everybody said, "Oh my God, he punched himself in the face and he bled." He had a blood pack in his mouth, you morons.
Yes, he did. A little pinch between the cheek and gum.
Yeah.
And he busted it open when he punched himself in the face.
Well, that, and you saw him bite it to make sure it squirted out right before it happened. And I saw these idiots on Twitter. He's such a badass. He really did punch himself. Folks, that I just did it. It's not going to, that doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way on your cheekbone. You have to get flailed in your lip to where your lip cuts on your teeth for that to happen in your jaw.
Yes, that's how it works.
I've been in enough bar fights when I was a young man to know that's how that shit happens. Trust me, I've been stitched up more than once. That didn't happen. So if you're thinking he's a badass and he really did this to himself, you are the biggest mark in wrestling. This whole thing sucked. Everything about this sucked. I don't want to have it. It was another AEW rah-rah moment. Dumbest shit ever. Agreed? Just awful.
I mentally checked out. I fell asleep,
okay.
I think.
We're
just
getting
mentally
there.
Fell asleep. My eyes were open, but I glazed over because Schiavone was involved in this. And anything Schiavone touches nowadays is just the shits.
We're getting there, pal. We're getting there. Because Ping Pong came out to fight Big Fat and Tat. That's what I'm calling him from now on.
King Fat and Tat?
King Fat and Tat. I'm done with this.
He's
Ping
like King
Pong
Tut.
got the shit kicked out of him this whole match. Just roughshot it. And guess what? He won. Ping Pong won.
I will say that I thought, oh, they're going to give Brody King King Fat and Tat, they're going to give him another friggin' win over Ricochet. This is going to be fantastic. But Ricochet got his win back.
Awful Wrestling chimes in. Peace, fellas. Nice blood pack from Darby. Can't wait for next week. Thank you all for checking out. Little bit of a news flash here. We're going to work with getting Awful Wrestling on the show next week and see how that goes. Looking forward to having them on. We appreciate your super chat, pal. But we're going to have a little bit of a combining of the minds. Awful has one of the best Twitter handles you can get on X. Always got great insight. Always has great charts to reveal the ratings. Looking forward to having you on, brother. We appreciate you getting back to us. This ought to be a good time. It's been a while, so forgive us if we're rusty for having more than a two-man booth. Looking forward to it. But yeah, he's everything right there. He's the blood pack, all of it. Did you notice the crowd booed the shit out of this match, by the way?
They booed Ricochet. They cheering for
booed
Brody
the
King.
shit out of him.
Booed the shit out of Ricochet.
Still
no numbers, Don. Still no ratings.
There's not going to come
out there, too.
Warrior, I see you, Power, to get you in a minute. I was surprised at how fast they booed him in this match. And it wasn't like boo, we don't like you, you're a heel now. It was, this is bullshit, is what the boo was. It wasn't like, oh, no, we don't like you. It was, this is bullshit. We don't want nothing to do with you anymore.
They're losing
Warrior
the fan base. Bottles, have you heard? Have you guys heard about Tony Khan wanting to do a Time Cop match? Yes, it's his favorite movie of all time.
I have heard about this.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell does that even mean?
He's insane.
Bottles with the perfect summary. Macho Man top rope elbow drop. What does that mean? He's fucking crazy. You're not wrong. I don't even know what the hell that would be, Warrior. Do you know what that would be? I have no idea what the hell that could be. Legitimately, I have no idea. Not a clue what that is. I don't know what that means.
He is insane. People thought that Vince McMahon, people thought Vince McMahon lost his ever-loving mind when he decided to call PLE Great Balls of Fire.
Yes.
They're trying to think of a name, and they're all sitting around the table. I don't know, Vince. Michael Hayes says, we ran out of all the options. We ran them all by. Let's call it Great Balls of Fire. God damn it. Tony, what kind of match you want to do? A special match for World's End? Let's do a Time Cop match. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do a Time Cop match. We'll send a guy back in time. He'll be in the Wild West. Oh, we did that with Bandito. Let's keep doing it.
I don't even know what that could be.
It will be starring Rob Van Dam instead of Jean-Claude Van Damme. It'll be Rob Van Dam in the Time Cop match.
Then we get the PP segment, who are the AEW Tag Team Champions.
I forgot all about those guys. And you know what, Don? It never crossed my mind. Where are the World Tag Team Champions? Where are they?
No one.
Never crossed my mind. Because they were booked as bums for the last 4 years.
Forever.
Bums.
They've been bums.
Jobbers. Yes.
And I said, this tag team division is bad. And then 2 Pokemon show up. And I said, what the hell is going on here? Why are we fighting Pokemons? That's a thing now? Did you see the Pokemons?
Who were the Pokemons? Is that the name for Dante Martin and Leo Rush? Yes, and Dante
They
Martin
look like Pokemons to me.
Or was that Action Andretti? Action Andretti and Leo Rush.
No, he comes out next. And I said 2 other idiots show up. What the hell is happening?
What were they wearing? What was Leo Rush wearing?
I don't know.
You could put a 20-foot pole up his ass and stick him on your roof. You get all the cable channels in, all the over-the-air channels. It looked ridiculous what he was wearing. What is going on in this company?
We got Pokemons, man. I was like, oh shit, that game's back. Remember those go find a Pokemon? I thought that's what they were playing. And they were catching their Pokemons. They caught 2 right there.
Right there. Right in front of private party.
You have 2 Pokemons. Get them in your little game.
Yes.
Holy shit. Salute Pals. Can you guys do a show with Phil Marks?
Well, Phil Marks would have to want to come on our show or, want us to go onto his show. Phil does a marathon. Phil does 3-hour shows. He's right up there with Marvin the Movie Monster.
Damn, pal.
Would you do a 3-hour show, Don?
I don't know if I could.
I don't even want to do a 1 hour and a half. You want to do an hour and 15-minute show?
Yeah, we do. We're killing it right now. Hey, look, if he has us on, if he wants to invite us on,
we'll go
I'd
on.
be more than willing to come on for an hour. But the invitation's open. How's that? I'll leave it at that. The invitation's open. Kind of like Renee Moxley Good is backstage
with an invitation.
Renee Baguette with Mercedes and Anna Jay. I want to get through this real quick. Mercedes Moné did not stay with me. Thank you again, Pablo, for the $1.09. Love seeing you out here, brother. Thank you for coming in again tonight. Mercedes Moné was not the problem here. But Anna Jay is not ready for prime time on promos.
No.
At all. It was awful.
Not at all. Not at all.
You can say whatever you want about Mercedes Moné, and we often do. Mm-hmm. But this ain't it, pal. This ain't it.
No.
Anna Jay ain't prime time ready. This whole thing was terrible.
The best thing you can say about Anna Jay in general is the fact that she did herself some favors by going to Japan for like 2 months and learning how to wrestle. That's where she's been. And she finally came back and she's in all kinds of matches now.
Right.
So
we'll see.
Who's a better promo? Anna Jay? Mercedes Moné?
Oh, Mercedes was way better. Not even close.
And she's horrible in general.
This wasn't even close. Anna Jay cannot do a promo. And we're going to close this match out. We're going to close this whole show out with the main event. Tits McGee versus May. And I said, I can't watch this. And I'll fast forward to the end. And I did. And I wasn't disappointed because this was the best part of the whole show. Toni Storm returned in her old gimmick.
Why would they do that? The timeless gimmick is what made her stand out.
Okay, so here's my thought on this.
Yes,
you can't ride
this.
that. You cannot ride that timeless gimmick, but so far. It's got a shelf life, right? And if you keep beating that into the horse, if you keep beating that horse into the ground, it's not going to work. So here's what I think she's doing. She's got about 3 or 4 personas she could call back to like Mick Foley used to do, the many faces of Foley that kept him fresh all the time. So she has a mental break and she snaps into one of these other personalities. And she keeps going through this cycle year after year. And if you think about it, it makes the most sense because she's now coming back as Billy Badass, right? The women's division is suffering right now. There's no doubt about that. She is the number one draw in that division. Love her or hate her, she is the draw in that division.
But will she be that way without the timeless gimmick?
Yes, I believe so. Because now she's going to be that badass chick. She's going to be the badass chick. She's going to be the heel cutter. I'm going to beat your ass, bitch. She's going to be that girl. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Why have Thunder Rosa in the front row with signs?
That part I can't explain. That goes to that bad booking bullshit that makes no sense.
Well, she's wrestling Mariah May. She's wrestling Mariah May at World's End.
I get that. She's not beating Mariah May.
No.
You're going to see, I just have that feeling that you're going to see this happen. You're going to see this happen. She is going to go from gimmick to gimmick like a person that's had a mental snap. And it's going to make sense like Mick Foley used to, when he used to just snap and be like, I'm not that guy anymore.
You think she actually, they're going to have her forget all about the timeless persona? Like she doesn't know what that was?
Yeah,
remember when Foley had amnesia and he was in the streets of Chicago with some homeless woman?
Yes.
And somebody went looking for him and they found him? Yeah.
I think it could work. I really do. I feel like this could be a good thing for her. You're resetting her gimmick. You bring this back for the next, 8 months, and then you have her go away again for a couple of months. And you bring her back with the first thing she was, the first iteration that she was, or maybe a new one. I just feel like there's a lot of ways you can go with this.
Why wouldn't you have her wrestle in this show?
Winter is coming. Got to pop a number. That will get people talking. It will.
They've got her on Rampage this week.
That will not get people talking.
No. She's wrestling Harley Cameron on Rampage. Here's the card for Rampage, Don. Takeshita and Mark and Lance Archer versus Mark Davis and Powerhouse
Chicken
Hobbs.
Hawk.
Chicken Hawk is teaming with Takeshita. Matt Cardona versus Brian Keith with Jericho and commentary. Tony Storm versus Harley Cameron.
And this is all tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher cut a promo. And Snooki Perazzo will be in action.
Oh, she's back. She's back.
Yes.
Oh,
Snooki Perazzo will be in action. It's going to be a live remote from Golden Corral for Snooki Perazzo.
Looking forward to it. I want to thank everybody that showed up tonight, everybody that donated. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. If you have not already, please like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button. We have not done 2 shows a week lately because we have been busy as hell. Life has taken a turn. Over the holiday season coming up, we are definitely going to do a little bit more. Like I said, we're going to have our best of show, our Wrestlers of the Year, our award show. That will probably be December 26th, I'd imagine, because neither one of us are going to cover that Christmas Day bullshit that is AEW. I'm not watching it. I can tell you that right now. That will not be a focus of mine, Johnny Bottles.
Well, you're a hateful man. That's why.
Okay.
Here's your Dave Meltzer nugget of wisdom for the week. Someone wrote to Dave, AEW could take a page out of the WWE marketing book to understand how to promote a brand. Though AEW has stars, they lack a true superstar to garner attention. The WWE brand is now bigger than any one star, but they did need superstars too. And the rest of what he says isn't that important because Dave replies, they lack the superstar babyface who almost never loses in the headline position. It's what you need badly in a promotion with so many. He wrote no many. He means so many. Heel beatdown angles. And he's right. Okay. He's right. You need a white meat babyface to be in there to fight back against all these heel beatdowns and gather the troops. Orange Cassidy isn't the guy.
James says, do not let AEW ruin Christmas Day. He gave us a super chat. I'm throwing it back up there. Thank you, James. We appreciate you, brother. Trust me, I'm not. We're going to have fun the 26th, though. No, you're not.
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it.
No, you're not.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, you're not. No, you're
Christmas
not.
Day, I'm going to watch it.
The grandbaby's going to be there. You ain't going to watch shit, pal.
I'll slap the grandbaby right in the mouth.
Okay.
I'll kick the dogs, throw the TV through the window. I'll do it all. I'll be so mad.
You know what? I think you're talking shit.
You know who else used to talk shit?
Until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.